Hello and welcome to the Lightfire room. I'm here with a very special guest. This is Dom Knott. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Cody.
Hey man, we're going to talk about all kinds of stuff. I know you play with all kinds of people and play all kinds of instruments, so I want to ask you first, what were some of your earliest musical influences?
Earliest musical influences, I had a lot of like country, rap, rock influence. Toby Keith, Kenny Chesney, some Willie Nelson, Merle Haggard, John Prine, good old boys.
Yeah, that's a lot of country guys.
Yeah.
What about the rap guys?
Rap guys, Biggie, Tupac, Eminem. Let's see. I like some Chance the Rapper. He's pretty cool. Shout out to Jay Mickey. Yeah, Josh Mickey.
Right on.
He's from high school.
And you said metal.
Metal. Let's see. Pantera, Metallica, Megadeth, Poison, heavier bands. Let's see, Chelsea Grin, Asking Alexandria, Bring Me the Horizon.
Very cool.
Different things like that. Attila.
What was some of your first exposure to playing music?
Playing music, started out when I was really young. My Uncle Bill taught me like a intro to Faithfully by Journey on a little keyboard, and my mom had got me a little Mark II acoustic guitar that I beat the shit out of and like tore it up. And when I was like 10 years old, I tuned that up, and I started taking piano lessons around the same time, and I started playing the recorder in elementary school.
Oh, cool.
And getting the hang of those things. Moving on to middle school, starting up with the sax.
Yeah.
And taking that through high school.
Right on. What about singing?
Singing has kind of always been around, like a thing for me. Like singing as a little kid to different things, going different places, singing things. And being in the church choir, being in choir at school.
I know when I first met you, like at open mics, you weren't singing as much. So it's interesting to hear that singing goes that far back for you.
Yeah, I guess it's just more so like the playing and singing bridge that you gotta get over, you know?
Yeah. The wall you have to hurdle.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what were some of your first live performances? Did that go along with the church choir or more with playing sax and band?
Like choir shows with the elementary school and middle school and band concerts and singing in the church in front of the congregation and stuff like that. That was always a thing.
Very cool. And what about like playing around the local area outside of school and church?
That started when I was like 17 years old. I started going out to open mic nights up at the Handlebars. And we met up there and started jamming a little bit. And then over to the Dew Bowl and JP Sports Bar over in Eureka. And
Otis Campbell's.
Yeah, Otis Campbell's. That came a little later, actually. Once the Blues Society started up, the Washington Blues Society. Cool group of people out there.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you jam up there quite a bit. You do a lot of jam sessions.
Yeah.
You do a lot more
for sure.
That kind of free-form music.
Yeah, I mean, there's structure to it, but it's definitely more free-form than a lot of different music that you'll hear just out and about.
What about that appeals to you?
The emotional aspect of it, that you can, like, convey how you feel through the freeness of it, like, not having a strict boundary on how you need to play.
I can see that.
A lot of improvisation, ad-lib, so to speak.
What were some of the first bands that you got to play with? First groups?
Tommy Perry and I, we started out playing in Herman at the 10 Mill, and then we started playing with Danny LaRue and Brian Glatz and the Tommy Perry band. We played around the local area. And then from there I started playing with Pebble, and we went and played out at the Astral Observatory and then a couple other places around the St. Louis area. That music festival was pretty cool. And then Tree 14 is another group around the St. Louis area that I've played with recently. Good group of guys there. We've played out at like the Delmar Hall, JB Amphitheater, Foo Bar, St. Louis Stadium, different places around there. We played at Otis Campbell's as well. That was fun. Corey's Twin Gables out in Marthasville. We played out there. It's a good spot. Good people.
Who influenced you later on? People maybe you got to play with or got to know personally?
I'd say everybody that I've played with throughout the years really has had an influence. Like, as far as personal interaction goes, but like listening to different artists, I don't know. It's hard to say. I really guess I've just broadened my perspective on what I like to listen to, and what I connect with.
So did your taste change later on? Did you find different musicians that you took inspiration from over the radio?
Over the radio,
not necessarily over the radio.
Just in general. Yeah, I guess I would say I still like what I grew up on, but I definitely have found more people that I'm interested in as well.
We spoke about like the Grateful Dead.
Yeah.
Being a big influence and coming into your
musical.
That
was definitely in like later high school years, once I started to like get out of the school mindset and get into like doing music and following that flow and doing those kinds of things with different people. Just kind of really opened up. I guess there's just more open mindset really to look at music as, because it's just so like free, and like the feel that they give in their musical interpretation of like just take Terrapin Station for an example. And the Terrapin Station medley, they got 3 profound movements. It's like a lot of people like to say, oh no, they're just silly jam band, they just they don't make sense and whatnot, but you can really see the profound musicality in that album there. That's a good one.
Sure. I know you've also been around and involved in a lot of different festivals.
Yeah, I've played at a few. I've worked at a few. They're a pretty neat scene. It's cool to see different artists and people come together and listen to music and just hang out and love each other. It's cool. It's a cool environment.
Opens up a lot of different avenues.
Yeah, it's a good networking opportunity. Like I say, you meet a lot of cool people.
You mentioned early on that you played multiple instruments pretty much at around 10 years old.
Yeah, that's kind of when I like picked up. Everything just kind of like flowed together at that juncture there. Yeah.
I was gonna say, you said guitar and piano there, and then saxophone later in band. I know I've seen you play bass. I think drums, piano, of course. Now you're singing too.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. Or singing all along. Right?
Well, yeah, just been different here and there,
Right on.
Different places.
Have you gotten the opportunity to be in a recording studio very often, or do you have any cool stories about?
I wouldn't say I've been in one often, but I have had a few opportunities to do that. So with 314, we got to go to Encapsulated Studios in St. Louis and do a little bit. It was an interesting experience, and like a studio setup like that where you got the window and the big board and whatnot. And then Tommy and I went down to Nashville to hang out with Shannon Tucker, and we got to hang out in his home studio, and that was a really cool experience too.
Shannon's a cool guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he was big for me starting out at the open mic scenes. He hosted the very first one I got to perform at.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you didn't get to meet him there, but it's cool that you got to meet him down in Nashville.
Yeah,
sort of in his element.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah. Any particular good gigs or good road stories that you'd like to share?
Well, when I was playing with 314 at Delmar Hall, I was wearing this flannel here, and I put a cigarette out, or so I thought, and put it in this pocket here, and it burned a hole all the way through it. So my sweet grandmother sewed this patch on my flannel shirt, and now it's a functioning pocket again. It doesn't have a big hole all the way through to my undershirt.
That's a great story. Almost burned up at a show.
Right. Yeah. No, but it's fun playing on stage for people and with other people and seeing different places. It's really cool.
That's one really cool, very interesting thing, I think, as long as I've known you, is all the different people I know you've gotten to play with.
Yeah.
And all the different stages that you've been on. It's really cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. one last big question, final big serious question. What does music, what does creativity or performing on stage mean to Dominic Knott?
Well, you know, it's really just an emotional like release and connection for me. That's just how I feel about it, how I go about interpreting my music on the different instruments and outlets that I do, you know, not just with music, but like dance, flow art, things like that. It's just all about feeling and, you know, interpreting that, translating that, however you want to look at it, in different ways.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to get everything switched over and have you play everybody a song, but I thank you for talking with us and for being here.
Thank you, Cody.
Thank you very much.
Anybody in there? Just not if you can hear me. Is there anyone at home? Come on now. I hear you're feeling down. I can ease your pain, get you on your feet, yeah. Relax, relax, relax. I need some information first. Just the basic facts. Can you show me where it hurts? There is no pain or receding. A distant ship smoke on the horizon. Or only come through in waves. Lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying. I was a child, I had a fever. Oh, my hands felt just like two balloons. I've got that feel once again. I can't explain, you would not understand. This is not how I am. I have become comfortably numb. Okay, just a little bit prick. There'll be no more. You may feel a little sick. Can you stand up, stand up? Oh, I do believe it's working good. That'll keep you going for the show. It's time. There is no pain you are receiving. Oh, the distant ship smoke on the horizon. You are coming through in waves. Your lips move, I can't hear what you're saying. Caught a fleeting glimpse, oh, out of the corner of my eye. I turned to look, it was gone. I cannot put child has grown, dreams are gone. I have become comfortably numb. Comfortably numb.
All right, everybody, that's our show. I want to thank Dom for coming on, talking to you and playing you a song. I hope you'll tune in next time. We're going to have Rob Usher on the show. Thank you very much. See you around.